of this question, which is you already establish your business and you have your target audience. Uh, how do you kind of define your potential or the persona of your buyer? Who who is your potential buyer, and how do you engage with them currently? Maybe I can ask with Sahir to begin with.
Sure. So, I mean, I think there's two levels again at which you can think about this question, right? One is
Yeah.
the generic question of like, what's a conceptual framework behind how you think about who your buyer is,
Yeah.
and how do you then have the touch points at which you're meeting that buyer and engaging with them, right? So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I think that for most businesses, it's just about being honest about what you stand for and who you are, and finding people who authentically can connect with and engage with that, right? And I think like we talk so much about influencer marketing. I think there's great things about it. I think there's terrible things about it, but it's definitely an example
Mm.
of where when it's done right, you're basically um, finding those people who are leaders
Yeah.
within the communities that you're looking to engage
Mm.
in the product that you're buying, and they can educate their audiences. They can educate other people who may not be in their audience but who listen to them, and they can serve as powerful ways of being almost like a super persona, right?
Mm.
Like they are embodying a lot of the things that you're looking for in your end customer.
Right.
And for example, in our case, when it comes to believing in zero waste, a future that's truly zero waste, right?
Mm.
It's something that we've engaged in, and looking for those people who can be icons of
Mm.
the future, and icons in the minds of consumers when it comes to leading the way, right?
Mm.
That's something that we have done. I guess the second is, and connected to that is like in our is the specific example of how have we gone about it, right?
Yeah.
How have we gone about defining our users and defining the personas of the people that we would like to engage?
Mm.
It's exactly that. We're looking for people who understand uh, complicated things.
Yeah.
Not all consumers are interested in engaging in a deep conversation around the products that they buy. They're
Mm.
not all interested in frankly being thoughtful.
Yeah.
They like the idea when it's packaged nicely and served to them nicely,
Mm.
but a lot of them are not interested in getting into the depths. But then there are those who are interested. There are
Mm.
those who will spend tons of time reading about a concept that they're interested in, and understanding it and owning it.
Yeah.
And in our experience, it's been users who have a certain level of of depth in their purchasing behavior,
Mm.
and how they approach the brands that they consume,
Mm.
that have resonated best with the products that we are creating. And
Mm.
the other side is, and we haven't touched much about on this, but like for us, creating beautiful technology driven experiences is such a critical part to achieving a zero waste future, right? It's like, how do you convert augmented reality into a very powerful tool so that you
Right.
can minimize things like inventory, where
Mm.
you're actually engaging with your consumer around technology? And so in our case, um, people who are very comfortable with technology, who think that technology is a value add to the
Yeah.
world, they are also the types of people who like to engage with us, because that's what our experience is based on.
Mm-hmm.
If you see our app and you see the experience of scanning your face and seeing a pair of eyewear that's like perfectly created and crafted to your facial structure, that's like a very cool experience. And so
Mm.
um, and what you find is there's overlap between these groups: people who are thoughtful, people who are interested in how technology is going to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And that's been our experience around the kinds of people that we're looking for. And they're champions, right? They're not just they're the consumers, but they're telling their friends about it.
Yeah.
They are coming to us with ideas on what like we could be doing.
Mm.
In some cases, it's literally been like a way towards finding business partnerships,
Wow.
where someone's like, oh, I know this brand, and they really like believe in a lot of the things that you guys are doing, and they're not sure how to do it, and it could be cool for you to have a conversation with them.
Right.
So that's been our experience, and also I guess my view on the conceptual framework towards how user personas
Quite deep.
work.
I must say. So I think, yeah, it's basically like a learning curve that consumers have, and yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I think now the brands, the way you have positioned your brand, and I think the way the story is being conveyed, yes, people's attention spans have become smaller and smaller, and I believe, but with the right target audience, so you already know who are the end consumers, and I think you are weaving those stories which kind of spread around. And I think the consumers who have already purchased something from you, they become your ambassadors, they become the kind of influencers. I think they may not be an actual influencer, but the one or two people that they influence within their family or society, I think that's going to have a very good impact, and a ripple effect that can percolate the